Good afternoon, all. Silas, you can hear me?
Good afternoon. We can hear you, Chair. Thanks. Godfrey.
Okay, thank you very much. So allow me on behalf of NACOSTI to thank all those in attendance and the various institutions, the focal points and the champions for making time to this very important session. We all know that the mainstreaming PC target is for the benefit of our institutions and also our country at large. And I think it is important that we integrate science, technology, and innovation in all our activities. So the main objective of today's session is basically to provide content on how we should go about reporting on this particular indicator. Today is the last day of the first quarter of the financial year 2022-2023. Therefore, let me welcome my colleague. Maybe just before that, all the members who are present, we request you to type your name and institution in the chat for the purpose of having the record. So allow me to welcome my friend, my colleague, Cyrus Kamau, to take over from there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Godfrey. Thank you, Godfrey, for the introduction. I want to welcome all members once again to this afternoon meeting. And I would say that the purpose of this meeting is to take you through the aspect of reporting and the reporting tool. So this one is governed by the output we got from the training we did in August about the complexity the members had about the reporting tool, and they felt that as NACOSTI, we could make a better way of reporting to ensure that we're able to have a more seamless and electronic way of reporting. So I'll go straight to the reporting template. So we'll be moving away from the current one single template for reporting, and we're providing a reporting template based on an online survey and reporting tool called Sogolytics. And the purpose of this is to ensure that at least members are able to get a smooth and efficient way of how the tool is working. So I'll go first to the website as I share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. So when you go to the NACOSTI website, I know there have been challenges in some cases of people saying they are not able to navigate to get the reporting aspect of this indicator. So if you go to the NACOSTI website, there are two ways of which you can quickly be able to do. Within the main menu of the website, there is a place of which you are able to get what you're calling the PCs for MDS, or just below the picture, just below. In the menu bar, there is, I would call it the fifth menu, from home, about us, program, services, resources, then performance contracting for MDS. Or you can just go again, just below the website picture, there is that lead link given there, performance contracting for ministries. So if you click on either of these, it should be able to take you to the reporting indicator, to the places where you have resources for PC indicator. There are two areas. There is one for the last year's indicator, and there is one for the current year indicator as provided for. So for the current year indicator, there is a 2022-2023. So when you click that indicator, it will bring you to this introduction and the resources that are involved for the indicator. So the work plan template, the quarterly reporting tool, the indicator, institutions that are supposed to report, a guide, also even for developing the strategy. So for this quarter reporting, we have these requirements, which I will just want to explain. So we have broken down into individual tables for reporting, and we will come to the reporting, we'll see how it's working out. And we have what you're calling documentary evidence. So these are documentary evidence that as you go along, you'll be able to come across them and you're able to use them within the reporting aspect. So from here, this information will now be critical in terms of how you'll be able to report the first quarter reporting that is expected to begin after today. So for the survey, we will be having a tool that we'll be working on, and we are calling it the STI Innovation Mainstreaming Performance Indicator. And it has the details that says the reporting tool is to assist you in terms of reporting, and the target group are the ministries, departments, and agencies within this current financial year. So the same requirements within that indicator are here. So for purposes of maybe progressing, you can download this aspect that is also available in the website. Sorry. And once you're able to download it, will give you a collection of the tables that will be used for purposes of evidence. Then as part of the continuity, as part of what you're supposed to, in terms of continuity, hold on a little bit. Allow me to first remove the share so that I can be able to check what the issue is. It's not progressing. It's now okay. There was a problem, I think, with the scroll down and sorted. So from here, we move to the first aspect of the reporting aspect. So from this link, you're able to say you accept, and you're able to move to the next stage. So there we have 4 parts. The document is divided into 4 parts. The first part is institutional details. So you are supposed to get the list of institutions from the first category. So the institutions are categorized into 4 research institutions, university colleges, state corporations and semi-autonomous government agencies, ministries and state departments and TVET institutions. So if you're not sure within where you fall, you can click this link that is provided for you. It will take you to the website where we have the resources that I had earlier explained of all the institutions and the way they have been categorized. From our list, we have 409 institutions reporting in this PC year. So unless it's a new institution that is not among the one that the performance contracting has, you should be able to see your institution. I'll just take an example and I will say state corporations, and I will move next. So when I move next, it's going to give me, you are able to get, if you're within the state corporations, you are going to get your institution among those that have been listed here. So if you're under universities, you'll get your institution listed among the universities. If you're under TVETs and tertiary institutions or teachers training colleges, you also go there and you'll be able to get. So from there, you are able to select, let me take the National Commission for Science, Technology, that's NACOSTI. I believe it's within this list. Okay, I understand has been reduced for purposes of that. So let me take any arbitrary institution that could be available for purposes of this training. I can choose either of what has been made available, and I can use it for purposes of this reporting. These are training aspects. Allow me to take the National Irrigation Board. Then I'll move to next. It will say under where the county, the institutional headquarters are currently. So if the institution is maybe has offices, regional offices, then when you're asking for the county, you provide the county to which you expect where your headquarters for your institutions are. So if it's Nairobi, that's county number 47, and you're able to select county number 47. Then you can type the name of the head of the institution. This is the CEO. the vice chancellor, the principal, if it's a college, director, if it's an autonomous entity. Let me say, Dr. David Jombe as the head and the CEO of the institution. Then the designation, they are given there, a list you can pull out. So for this case, I would say doctor, and I'll click next. Then I'll provide details of the focal persons. So here you have the option. If you don't have a focal persons, you just say no. So if you know, you tell it to kindly expedite the appointment of focal persons before submitting Q1 reports. If you already have a focal person, you say yes. You anticipate you provide for us a name. Allow me to just type my name. Okay, allow me to provide the name and the number 0722-123-456. Then the email address, cyrus.kamau@lacoste.go.ke. Then provide a copy of the appointment letter. So from what I had provided earlier, we said there are some documents. Maybe I can just flip within that, if allows. Within the guidelines of what you're able to download, we say these are the documentary evidences that are required. So within the first evidence is a letter for the appointment of focal persons. So moving back, we anticipate that you may need the letter of the appointment of focal persons. So I'll move within my storage, maybe let me still download. I had downloaded it for use here, but I can still download it again for just purposes of this training. Just give me a moment. I go back to downloadable here. And then I select my storage location as desktop. So the download will come as a zip file. So you need to extract the files so that they can help you and guide you within the uploading process. So I'll go back to my continuation and I'll be able to select. I'll just go back to my desktop and I have the templates. So for the purposes of evidence, the first one is the appointment letter of the focal persons. So upload the appointment letter of the focal persons. Then I'll move, have you appointed champions? If your answer is no, then you get the message. Kindly expedite the appointment of STI champions before submitting the first quarter report. If your answer is yes, then you are supposed to appoint a copy of the appointment letter for champions. So you can move to attach. Then within the letters of appointment, you have the appointment letter of champions. So in some cases, there could be a case where you have the focal person and the champions are appointed with one letter. So you just attach the first letter and the second letter the same. Where we have a single letter of appointment, then the first person there is a focal persons. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are indicated as champions. So that letter will suffice. In case there is a problem of attaching the long document, just delete and go back, and you ensure that you attach the correct document. So if the document that uploads within this window is not the document you need to attach, there is always the opportunity to remove it and attach the correct document within it. Then has the institution focal person participated in the STM in streaming training session? So if the answer is no, you are supposed to provide reasons. So give reasons including plans to train in the near future. You remember that from the guide, we are saying the STI champion and the focal persons must be trained. So if the person has come in and maybe has not attended any training, there are reasons here that you can be able to indicate. Was it lack of funding? Was it lack of resource, internet? Was it an installation platform issue? If there are others, maybe that you have not listed here, you can type here, whatever the reason is if there are others. If the answer is yes, you have attended training, then we have given you the dates of the trainings that we have conducted since last year. The first one was an online sensitization, 13 to 17, 2021. There was an online in October. There was an in-person training that took place in Naivasha in December last year. And there is an online sensitization that took place in August this year. So if you have attended those trainings, it's good to indicate that you have attended the training. Then you can move next. But click the trainings that you have attended. So there you have two options, whether you attended or you didn't attend. Then have you developed institutional mainstreaming strategy? If no, then you get this message here that include it in your STI work plan and use a template on institutional STI strategy to develop your institutional STI strategy. There is already a template provided on how to develop the strategy on that. If the answer is yes, then you are supposed to provide an approved copy. Here we are saying attach a copy of the approved STI strategy signed by the CEO or the head of the institution. Like I said, you just click attach. Then within your attachments for evidences is a copy of the approved STI strategy, which is supposed to upload and will be part of it. So at this point, there are two gateways. There are those that have developed the strategy. There are those that have not developed the strategy. If your answer here is no, then the tool will take you to what we call Stream A. Stream A allows you to develop the STI strategy, and it will give you a place to attach activities. There is a template to develop activities. We are calling that table 1. So if you come to within the tables that we have provided in the download format, we have table 1. So this table has all the aspects of which you are supposed to fill and upload the activities you are planning to overtake when you're taking up this exercise. If the answer is here is yes, then we are saying if the answer is no, it will take you automatically to Stream A. It will guide you on the activities and procedures of which you are supposed to undertake in developing the STI mainstreaming strategy. If your answer is yes, then you're also attaching a copy of that approved strategy by the CEO. And you're also able to move to what you're calling Stream B. Stream B means that now you're not developing because you have already done the activity of developing. What you'll be doing is implementation. You'll be doing strategy implementation. So on this part, you are supposed to attach that table 2. So if you come here, there is a table 2 that we had explained in our earlier sessions. And table 2, if I open it, is the same table that we had done during the earlier training. But this table, when you open it, you realize it's a breakdown from the original template to the activities to which you are supposed to undertake. So you are supposed to identify, like here it says, table 2, you identify, implement at least 5 strategic issues in the respective institution that you are supposed to submit that table in Excel format. So after that, you can develop and submit the STI mainstreaming work plan. Note, whether you're doing Stream A or Stream B, you have to develop and submit a work plan. So we have already provided that work plan for you. You can download it from the website that I had given earlier, or you can have it within the documents that you have downloaded. Within the documents that you download from the downloads, and I have just put in the desktop. Sorry, I have just put in the desktop. There is an STNI mainstreaming work plan already provided for that. And you're able to open it, and you're able to populate it so that it guides you. So for in this case, when you're coming to the filling process, you just select the STI mainstreaming work plan, which is signed by the CEO, and you should be able, that means that you have already agreed on the activities you are supposed to do for the whole year, from Q1 to Q4, and the CEO has approved. That includes activities, budgets, timelines, which quarter, which activity are you doing in which quarter. Then you're able to attach it as for purposes of the evidence that you're supposed to provide within Q1. Then you move next, you go to section A. These are the mandatory documents that you are supposed to fill for purposes of STNI process. You are supposed to start with section A, research, project, innovation on human resource capacity. Staff establishment and in-post indicate there are a number of approved staff establishment. It has been explained, i.e. the maximum number of staff you can employ. Maybe your organization, like National Irrigation Board, has a staff capacity of 400. Let me just be within the limits that are here. Maybe 250. Indicate the total number of staff in post. Those are the people who are already employed. And that means that they're already working within the irrigation board. I'll take maybe 150. Indicate the total number of in-post staff who are offering technical services. Those are the institutional core mandate services. Possibly it's 100. Then total number of in-post staff who are non-Kenyans. If you have expatriates working for your organization, especially for research organization and the rest, or even universities that have staff on exchange, then you're able to indicate here. So if you have 3 staff who are working, but they are citizens of other countries, then you put them here. So within those 3, possibly the total number of who are offering technical services. In most cases, if you have expatriates or technical team, they come to support maybe the skill set or knowledge transfer. So you may find that 3 are also coming to support the technical or core services of the organization. So provide a copy of the staff establishment. So this one is supposed to be a PDF format of the approved staff establishment. So for state corporations, we have the State Corporations Advisory Committee that approves the establishment of an organization. I think other institutions could have other aspects of approval, like universities and other institutions that are also reporting in terms of NT. If it is ministry, maybe there is a Ministry of Public Service and Public Service Commission. So you are able to attach, this document is supposed to be a PDF. So you are supposed to now attach a copy of the staff establishment that includes a photocopy of it. Maybe you can get it from the strategic plan if you have one, and such. You're able to put and able to attach that. A copy of the staff establishment. Then you also have a copy of the current staff in post. So there is a table. It's indicated here for purposes of guiding you, table 3. So if I go to the attachments and I go to the tables that have been provided, table 3 is current staff in post. You just need to click it and open it. It will be uploaded once it has been filled. Then you have human resource capacity. Then there is a table 4 on human resource. So the table that involves the human resource that we had earlier put in Excel has also been made available. You just go to upload human resource capacity table, then you're able to upload it. So these tables are supposed to be pre-populated with information before you upload it. So that if you're able to pre-populate the information that is required, you are able to upload it within this. Then kindly provide the the ratio of technical staff to in-post staff. People should read in-post, not on-post. I think the term is in-post, but on-post means people who are already working. So like we said, if we come here, we can see that we are saying the number of technical staff is 100 against those that are in-post 150. So the ratio here can be easily be verified by just saying the number of technical staff 100 against the 150 who are already the staff who are supposed to be in post. Then you're able to click next and it takes you to section B. Section B deals with the infrastructure, facilities, and equipment. You have a table which you're calling table 5. So table 5 is supposed to be pre-populated with the infrastructure and all the information that involves the infrastructure table. And you're able to come here once you pre-populate it and attach it. Then you click next. Section C is to deal with research, science, technology, innovation, expenditure. There is a table that we had already given. This is the same table, but now given in a separate Excel worksheet or workbook. So you are supposed to populate the research, development, expenditure on that table. So once you're able to populate that table 6, you're able to click on it after populating and uploading it within that. Then you're able to click next. You go to section D on research outputs. This is where you're talking about publications, commercialization, technology transfer. So the table that is dealing with all those aspects is what you're supposed to attach. It's guided, it's table 7. So it has already been designed for you. Your work is to populate data, then add table 7. Then table 7 will be populated. Then you are saying these are that is to do with research, collaborative research, technology, innovation, and programs or projects. Then table 8 is the one that's dealing with outputs. That's research, science, technology, innovation outputs. Sorry for that. Here is where you deal with issues of patents, publications, and you're able to provide the table 8 that is already provided for you. So it's already designed for you. It's just to populate the required data for RSTI outputs and upload. So this table contains a lot of data on outputs. So instead of typing within the table a lot of information, then attaching evidences, so the table just provides for numbers. So you just provide the numbers of RSTI. Like now, if you're saying there are any publications done, you say 100. Then you spread them among what you call fields of study. Natural sciences, 3, social sciences, 2. So the evidences of the publications and patents will be in PDF format. So you just upload and you're able to provide evidences. If within your evidences, there is evidences for all research, technology, and outputs, then you can be able to attach that in PDF. Then you're able to click next, which takes you to the next stage. You are dealing with research, technology, and innovation for dissemination. So in terms of dissemination, we have a table for dissemination. This is where we are talking about conferences, workshops, seminars, all those kinds of research, technology, and science outputs. So a table has been provided and pre-designed. So under what you call the tables, we have table 9 that is dealing with dissemination of research, technology, and innovation, products and services. So once it's pre-populated with the data, you just come here and you click upload, and you're able to click next. So there is a question on intellectual property policy. So you're saying intellectual property policy, an institution shall put into place the IP policy in line with relevant laws. If you have been asked whether you have, the answer is either no. If you don't have, no worries, you'll be working within your strategic, your work plan to develop one. If you say yes, then you're supposed to attach your intellectual property policy. So it's in PDF format, so you just go and have your evidences, then you look for and attach a copy of your IP policy. Then the copy of the IT policy will be addressed. Then the next question is on research policy. So you either have no research policy, you select no. So you've now included development of a research policy within the SSTI work plan and strategy. If the answer is yes, then you're able to provide evidence by attaching that research policy within your evidences of documents for attaching. So after that, you move to next. So this one is institutional support and quality assurance system. So there is a question on institutional scientific and ethics review committee. So you either have no, if you have no, then you are being asked to state plans of how you are going to be affiliated with existing or accredited scientific and ethics review committee in Kenya in the next couple of weeks or months, and provide maybe some of the activities you are doing. If the answer is yes, then you are supposed to populate these two. So if the answer is no, then you can come up with how you are planning to affiliate. If the answer is yes, then there are two tables, table 10 and table 11. So table 10 is a list of registered researchers that should be uploaded. Then there is also a list of postgraduate projects or dissertation or thesis that should also be uploaded within the research portal. So that research, those two tables have been developed in Excel. So if I come back to my attachments, I have table 10, list of registered researchers within the institution. And I have table 11, which is dealing with the list of postgraduate projects or dissertations that the institution is currently undertaking. Then you go to contribution towards implementation of Kenya international obligations. Up to where we have reached the ISEC, all those questions are mandatory. It's either a yes or a no. So if there is a no, there is a way you're supposed to work it and provide whatever is requested. If it's a yes, then documentary evidence is provided. But towards the contribution or implementation of Kenya international obligations, these are institutions, ministries, and departments that are dealing with items that fall under what we call Biologic Toxic Weapons Convention, or what we call BTWC. So these ones are not mandatory. So in case you're not dealing with this element, then they are not mandatory. You don't need necessarily to fill this part. So, but if you are, then you have provided you also with tables. That's table 13, 14, table 12, that deals with the aspect of information and containment facilities. The scope of general description, we have table 13. Then the tables on measures that you are taking as an institution or a ministry or a department, you can be able to upload that table 13 on the measures that you are undertaking to ensure that the general safety, mitigations and preventions are also put into board. It will upload. So this is the second last part of it, yeah? So we have now the last part. The last part, instead of signing the Excel form, we anticipate that any relevant information concerning these MDAs, this is not mandatory. If you have any information, possibly you would want to say that the template is much easier than the Excel sheet. Then, or you can have none. So if you don't have anything, just write none, or just leave it blank. So it will serve the same purpose for that. Then you're able to click next. So that gives a room for anything that you may feel that is not addressing what you need, then you can. So for purposes of submission, this is the last part that deals with submission. So at this point of submission, we anticipate you attach a letter from the CEO, accounting officer, VC, principal director, just to forward your submissions, which means that you can draft a letter, then give to your CEO, just like you do with other PC targets, where you have a forwarding letter for submissions. Then you can do a letter for submission. So that one will come in form of a PDF. So you'll be able to get it. Then as part of your evidences, you'll be attaching the letter as part of your last evidences. Then from there, you're able to submit your report. It's just that direct process. Maybe before I close, maybe something that I wanted to bring to your attention. Sometimes you may find that before you submit, you'd want to save and continue. Maybe you have realized that one of the tables is not well developed within your process. Let me go back to some of the phases, maybe for a scenario. You realize that under the institutional support and quality assurance system, you don't have the table on the listed registered researchers. And that means you need to first get or you don't have the list of postgraduate projects and dissertations. This one, most likely you're going to find it in the universities, category of universities. So you can save and continue later. So when you click to continue later, it will create this link. So there are two options of it. You can save this link, or you can try to bookmark this link. If it allows you to do bookmarks, you can add it as part of your bookmarks. Or you can send this link to your email. So, and you can click send so that that link is now sent to your email. So when you save this link, what happens later, you can come back. You have partially saved your data. You can come back and continue from the point where you first left. So like now, if I go back to my email, I'm supposed to get that link and I'm able to click on it and open. And it's going to ask me a question about you are returning to a partially completed survey. Choose from the two options below. So if you click here to start from the beginning of survey, all the data that you have entered attached will get lost and you start the survey afresh. However, if you would want to proceed from where you left, you click here to return to where you last left off. So the system will take you back to the last saved process and it will allow you to proceed from there. So that's the advantage of this, such that if you have not finished, it can allow you to go up to the last point where you saved and you're able to progress to the next part. So it's going to save your history status. Once you have been able to completely finish the survey, you can be able to submit. And if you submit, it's going to give you that message that thank you for your participation, and you have additional requests about this survey, please send to PC@NACOST. If there are any questions, maybe after you have submitted your survey and you'd wish that this one should be done, then it will be able to send to that. So, and it will tell you your response has been received by the commission. So you can view your responses before you close. So if you want to go through your responses and check, did you attach the correct documents when you are submitting? It can give you this option of what you have been able to do. So it will give you all aspects of which the survey involved. So it will be able to generate a PDF document. You can even save that document for your reference and for your future visits in terms of what you're able to fill and what you're able to submit. So if you're able to have that at the end of the quarter survey, you can now close. You can say continue. Then the survey is complete and is closed. I know I've been a little bit fast, but I can say that majority of what I have explained and the tables that have been provided, maybe just to give a quick view of what you're calling these tables. These are the same tables we had in the Excel sheet. Like now, if I click on the table for institutional strategy, we have only put this table in one Excel sheet. And that means that if you are taking activities, maybe you are saying appoint focal persons, have meetings, conduct minutes, draft strategy, submit draft strategy, stakeholder engagement and validation, approved strategy. These are the activities for the people who are developing the strategy. If I go to another table that's for those who are doing stream B, we are telling them to identify at least 5. The table is providing those at least 5 aspects of what activities they would want to undertake, and they will be undertaking from this part. Like in human resource, if we had said one of the strategies was to increase the number of PhDs, if the strategy was to increase the number of staff, you just identify the strategies that are already within your strategy that you developed in terms of these key areas. These key areas are associated with the data that you are submitting. Like the first table is on human resource. So this strategy is addressing human resource. The second table is about RSTI infrastructure. This strategy is addressing infrastructure, facilities, and equipment. The third table is about RSTI funding. So this strategy is dealing with funding and investment of RSTNI. The fourth table that is dealing with programs.
Cyrus,
Yeah.
the tables are not being seen. They are still on the website.
Okay, sorry. Let me reshare, stop the share, then reshare again. Thank you for that support. Is the tables visible? That's a table for people in group
Yes.
A, in stream A, those who are developing the strategy. So they are supposed to fill the details of the activities of the strategy here. Then they are able to get it, to upload. So when you'll be uploading data that is within this kind of strategy that you have. So Chair, I think I'll reach out to them unless there are questions from members, then I may be in a position to respond. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Silas. I noticed that attendance is fairly high, 500 plus. And the question is whether we take 2-3 questions audibly, or because we have also dealt with quite a number of questions on the Q&A and on the charts. But I think it is good manners at least to listen to 1 or 2 voices, but still NACOSTI will be available, whether through our email, because they have the contact email. So we open it to the floor. Maybe 1 or 2 persons may have some comments, and then after that we close. So I'll request the secretariat there just to pick if there's a hand up, then we listen. Thank you. Yes, Colin Soma.
Yes. Thank you for the presentation. That's quite enlightening. And I think having this online should be able to make the work a little bit much easier. I'm actually calling someone from Maseno University. Now, I had 2 quick ones. From the onset, when we were getting introduced onto the forms online, I don't know whether as part of the security system for that uploading and getting information from institution, there will be need for logging in, because the way I saw it, anyone can log in for any institution and just provide information. And I don't know whether you have a way to know whether it's authentic from a particular institution or not. And then the second one is about uploading of documents. So I saw that it indicates that this is quarter 1, and then you are uploading all those documents. And then we'll go to quarter 2. But then because of the nature of the template, there are certain things that once you upload them in quarter 1, they don't change. Things like appointment of focal points, things like STI strategy, those will not change. So does it mean that if you upload those information that might not change over time, when you report in the second quarter, now you won't have those options, or you'll just have to upload them again and now get into the redundancy level which we are talking about? Thank you.
Thank you very much for being clear. Any other question from the participant? Kevin Getich.
Kevin Getich.
Yes, Kevin, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I'd like to appreciate Cyrus for the good presentation. I was just wondering on whether we could have the guidance on NACOSTI website so that we can be able to go through it, supposing that there could have been things that we missed midway. And then my second question would be, like our organization, we already have a draft performance contract. However, we do not have targets on that we are supposed to report to NACOSTI. So I was just wondering on whether we must have targets that we are supposed to report to NACOSTI, because on our end, on service delivery as per PC guidelines, they're supposed to be weighted to 10%. And it's already summing up to 10%, but we don't have targets that are supposed to be reported to NACOSTI. So kindly advise.
Maybe the last one. Gilbert Mogeni.
Thank you, Chair. Audible. Thank you for the presentation. Speaking, representing Communications Authority of Kenya. A very, very quick ones because of time. I think one is appointment of focal person, which has been spoken to. Is it a yearly process? And there's a case where a focal person is appointed, but in the middle, the person leaves the employment. So we had followed up with an email indicating that there's a change of focal person. Do we need to do a formal appointment of the new person from what we have said? Secondly, in terms of STI strategy and the IPR policy, because of the different approval systems for organizations, you only detailed either you have a strategy or you don't have, but there are cases where a strategy has been developed, it has gone through a number of approval stages and is awaiting kind of final approval. So it cannot be attached as a final strategy or policy, but also you cannot say that you don't have. So I think when you looked at those two streams, you should have been aware that there could be a case where an organization doesn't fit in any of those two, and therefore you need to guide on that. And on the same line, in terms of approval, where you talked of approved strategy by the CEO, could we also, for example, attach minutes of a board or management meeting, if that is a process that is used for approval at our organization? Thirdly, Chair, and I'm about to finish, just one more question. In terms of ERC, it was also either yes or no, but you find that an organization may not have the ERC, the Ethical Review Committee, but has already agreed with another organization formally that we can use that organization's ERC as per the guidance of NACOSTI. So in that case also, we need, when you say you don't have, but you have already got an authority to use another organization's ERC, I don't know then whether you go ahead and complete the tables as they were given. And finally, Chair, the approval process of the quarterly reports, the institution that previously had to have the report that is brought to NACOSTI approved internally before it is submitted. But now online, it looks by the time you are submitting, actually by the time you are getting the forwarding letter, you have already kind of forwarded the report. So then that means that internal approval may really not work very well in this case. I just need a guidance on that. Thank you, Chair, for the many questions.
Yes, thank you very much. Maybe Cyrus, before I come to you, let me pick a few of them. There's the aspect of approval of documents, because when you have a draft document, maybe it is not operational, because in most cases, that is the best case scenario. But of course, the assumption is as much as your STI strategy has not been approved, you are doing some things. And that's why whatever that you have in terms of infrastructure, in terms of human resource, you would still report. Therefore, that one we can handle it maybe one-to-one with a particular institution, and then we see how best to get it. Cyrus, you want to take on the other questions?
Yes, I will. I'll start with number one. Sorry, I was not in a position to take the name, but at least I was able to get the questions. So the first question was on security of uploading. So the security, that's why we are giving you that link. Yeah. I don't know whether I can be able to quickly see whether I can get the link. Yeah, let me share something. Allow me, I'll just do it very fast so that I'm able to
the name was Collins Mateno University.
Collins Maseno. Okay, yeah, Collins. Yeah, we have tried our best. I have already displayed that link. If you see this link is uniquely yours. That's why I say that you have to take care of it. Once we share and you're able to create your link for reporting, that link is uniquely to you, and no other institution can use that link for reporting. And it will be generated automatically when you click the link. So if you forget it, even us at our side, we can't reset for you because it's like a security code. So once you click for reporting and you get the link, kindly the one who is reporting, store that participation URL safely. It's the one that you'll be using for that quarter. And for every quarter, you will be generating a new link for reporting for purposely the issue of security and ensuring that whatever you're able to do within the limits of what you can report. The other one was about redundancy. Redundancy is critical, and I understand your point. What we have and what the experience has been, there are some things that you would wish that when you come to second quarter, we remove them. That would be issues of like appointment of focal persons and champions. However, you may realize that some institutions may not have provided that. Maybe they had answered no. So that means that you will be forced to customize every tool for every institution that has either reported this item or not. So from our side, we don't have the danger, and you don't have a problem of you giving us the focal persons letter twice or 3 times or 4 times. We would prefer that so that we serve everyone within a cross-board. Some of those common aspects may be repetitive. So, and if you still had provided the evidence in the first quarter, there is no harm of putting it, unless that evidence goes too much outside your way to go and create a new document. But if it's a document that's available, just attach. Otherwise, for those institutions that will be finding themselves in the second quarter or in the third quarter in reporting, they could have that challenge if we decide we will not provide that universally cross-cutting questions that may serve you. Like now, there was a question by, I think, Kevin. Kevin was saying that it is not in their PC. But if you go to your guidelines, STI reporting is a core mandate indicator. It's a streamlining indicator, but within the core mandate. That means within your core mandate, you jumped it when you are picking up and signing the PC. So my advice would be you go back to your PC, then you look at the PC reporting guidelines, then you see where it falls to, so that you can see the difference between what you are saying and what should be there. It will help you in guiding you for that. I think that one was on redundancy from Collins. From Getich, he had asked a question on draft performance contract. So in your draft performance contract, if you have not yet signed, that means your institution, maybe the ministry, it's good to go and see whether you can be allowed to review it to address whatever it's supposed to address. Gilbert, Daktari here, I think there were some questions that my colleague Godfrey has answered. Why we are asking your strategy to be signed by the CEO is because the CEO is the accounting officer. We are aware that for questions like policy have to go to the council or the board. And that means that they have a long process. For the IP policy and the research policy, that one we anticipate it may take 2 or 3 years. That's why we are not saying at this point, give us an approved policy or give us an approved research or IP policy. It's a long-term thing that has a lot of process. But for a strategy, which we're already implementing at this stage, if it was presented in the last management and the CEO approved it for submission to NACOSTI, we can account that as an approved strategy because the management is aware. And when you come to create your STI work plan, I'm not seeing where your CEO or accounting officer says he will not approve your STI work plan. And he has already said in management, he has approved the strategy. So when we're asking it to be signed by the CEO or the accounting officer, we are looking at a level of approval at management level. However, if your organization approval at management level by the accounting officer is not enough, you can also indicate that we are implementing the document, but it's only approved at management level. So that we can know if it is not approved at management level, then possibly even the work plan will be a challenge because we will be asking, are you implementing a strategy that the management haven't seen or haven't approved? ISAC affiliation. For ISAC affiliation, you just say no, that's Gilbert. Then you say we are affiliated to, let's say you are affiliated to NACOSTI. Why we are saying this, if you are affiliated to NACOSTI and you did a research proposal that was approved by NACOSTI, When NACOSTI will be submitting their reports on the approved ISEC, it will be among those, your proposal from CA will be among those are being sent by the ISEC. So for you, the worry of submission isn't there. The answer is no, and the answer is we are currently being affiliated to this institution. So we anticipate that the research proposal that you're undertaking, that institution is giving us, that institution ISEC, University of Nairobi or Institute of Primate Research, wherever you are conducting your ISEC approvals, are the ones who are responsible of submitting that data. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And I think allow me to thank the members and just mention something as we reach a close. The aspect of saying no is acceptable, because in the future we plan to have sensitizations, whether it is on intellectual property or ethics. So now when you tell us no, we know that we have institutions here which we can try to build their capacity. Because for you to have, whether it is ethics review committee or IP policy, you actually require some staff members or a number of officers trained on the same. Therefore, it also helps us establish the status and also speak out on the interventions. Our goal was to have this meeting within 1 hour, and I think if you check your time, it's 1 hour. The only thing for those who joined late, let's hope that next time we'll be able to join on time. Cyrus, do you have any last word?
Yeah, I have a last one. We have not shared the link in the website, but we have given them time to download. We know the reporting starts tomorrow, but we will share the link on Wednesday. There are some security and download issues we are checking along to ensure that all the features that we will share, we address also the security of data. And we are hopeful that it will be done by Monday or Tuesday, latest. So we will share the link on Wednesday, the 5th, for you to start filling the data. However, we have provided with you with the tables. So you can be pre-populating the tables so that from Wednesday you start the online submission. That's when we share the link. So I hope members are aware of that, and kindly share this with your partners that the link for submission will be available from Wednesday.
Okay, so thank you very much. Let me thank all the participants. Let me wish you on behalf of NACOSTI a blessed weekend. Thank you and God bless. Goodbye.